Now we've created our security groups for MAM. What we'll do now is we'll go in and we'll create the conditional access policy. What that policy will do is define what's called the approved applications that the users are able to access on their mobile devices for the corporate data. So we move across to portal.azure.com, click into Active Directory. On the left hand side, click Security, and on the top, click Conditional Access. And we're going to set up a new policy. For the purposes of the naming, we'll set this up and we will call this CA02, all apps require MAM except the 365 security MAM bypass. Okay, so the assignment, so we will be including, and we'll select users and groups, and we'll put in users, and we'll apply this to our 365 security MAM group. We'll put in an exclusion. The exclusion, again, always good practice, just to make sure that you exclude some of your more senior roles. Global administrator is always the one that we suggest would be excluded, and the exclusion group here will be the 365 security MAM bypass group. So if I select that group, so that's now excluded from the policy. Click done. No cloud apps or apps selected, so options really here around all cloud apps or select apps. General recommendation would be to select apps, and then if you just click the Office 365 preview, that covers all of the applications available in the 365 tenant. You can be a little bit more specific if you wanted to, and not do Office 365 preview. And just an example, if you bring in something like Exchange, this will cover things like Exchange Online. Just of course do bear in mind that if you just do something like Exchange Online, it will still ask you, a user will still be able to access things like Teams and OneDrive, etc. So you would then need a separate policy that would specifically block those applications if you just wanted somebody to have email, as an example. So we'll leave Office 365 preview, we'll click select and click done, and the conditions that will be selected, we won't do any kind of sign-in risk. The device platforms we will be configuring. We'll configure yes, and selected platforms, and we'll be doing an Android and an iOS policy. Locations, again, if you have a specific known trusted location, you can put that in. Client apps we've already covered, and device state would generally be if you're looking at managed devices, which in this particular scenario we're not covering. So under access controls, so sorry, we'll click OK there. Let me just check that. Let me just go back in and reconfigure device platforms. My apologies, I didn't save it. What else? That's done, and click done. So the access control, so we will be granting access but requiring approved client app only. So that was the applications that we specified over here. Okay. There is no session control. Session control is things like MCAS, but for the purposes of the demo, this is just setting up the basic policies. We'll just do report only at the moment, so we can start to demonstrate what happens with the users, and we'll then create that policy. So that's now been created. What we'll now do is just go back and check that those policies are applying correctly to the correct users. So from our app protection policy, if we go back to home and we go back to our Azure Active Directory, we'll go into security and then do conditional access. You'll notice up here we'll do the what if policy. So we'll do a what if, we'll select the user, and we'll do Bruce.mam as an example. Okay. Select, and then if you click what if, you'll see that Bruce.mam will now receive all apps require MFA. He's in that group, and CA02 Bruce will also get applied all apps require the MAM, so he will have required approved client app, and he will also require multi-factor authentication to access that application. If we go back to conditional access policies, and again we do what if, we select user, and we do Peter no MAM, select Peter no MAM, and we do a what if. You'll see Peter will require multi-factor authentication, but there will be no MAM access applied to Peter.